10年前 GLD 世界上最大的黄金指数推出之后，可参与黄金交易的投资方式与投资额度、灵活性全方位放大，参与投资人数也是大幅增加。黄金的价格也是更从10年前的400多美元一盎司提升到目前的1300美元左右。如果您10年前投资黄金，那么现在这个回报率应该说是相当的出色了。但是事实上，从今年3月份以来，黄金的价格是直线下跌的，使许多持有黄金的投资人不知如何是好。很多有意投资黄金的投资人呢，也是止步不前。今天的经济观察，黄金财富管理基金 Robert Alderman 先生就为我们分析投资黄金是不是还有前途。
For centuries, gold has performed very, very well in a well-diversified, well-constructed client portfolio. We believe nothing's changed. So for an interested Chinese client, Chinese investor who is looking at their portfolio and wondering should gold be there, absolutely. You need to plan for the unknown unknowns that are out there. You need to hedge against inflation, and you need to hedge against other types of unforeseen risks. In medium long term, people today can actually buy 40% more gold for the same price as what it would have for the same price as it is today, as what they would have been able to buy when gold was at 1900. So the bottom line is, I think people have an opportunity to really get in at these prices and hold gold for short, medium, long-term time periods and be able to really benefit from its diversification value.
Can you explain a little bit why the price is not going up in the near term? I'm putting you on hot spot, but that's what I really want to know. What's the reason?
Well, there are a number of reasons. You know, I think that it's very difficult when the United States dollar, the U.S. dollar, is doing so well, and it's difficult perhaps in times when we see very little inflation. But I can tell you that the minute there's a whiff of inflation, or the minute that we see another crisis around the world, God forbid, but when we see those types of crises, gold tends to perform very well. So it's a much better time to buy it when it's at these prices than it's when at higher prices. Or another way to say it is, you don't buy fire insurance when the house is on fire.
Your suggestion is investors should look at gold as a long-term, still a safety net.
Well, I think there's a fundamental reason why we believe gold is in a good position to rise. At today's prices, frankly, miners it's costing them more money to take gold out of the ground than it is for people to buy it on the spot market. So there is going to be, we believe, a supply crunch because the miners aren't mining as much, and there's not as much recycled gold that's going around to help maintain that supply. And demand, when prices hit these levels, we know what happens in India, we know what happens in China. When prices come down to these levels, people like to buy it. So we've got demand is up, supply is down, and price really can only go one way, which is up ultimately. Remembering that gold actually has two types of consumers. They've got a consumer demand, people who want to buy jewelry or buy other artifacts made out of gold, and then there's the investment demand, and it's a real push-pull. So as the price drops, the consumer is buying more and the investment person is buying less. That forces price to go up, at which point the investor is going to end up entering back into the market and again holding prices up. So it won't take a world event, or necessarily it won't take necessarily inflation. I think it will take this fundamental supply and demand imbalance to come into play and then prop the price up.
Interesting. Maybe lifestyle change can drive the direction
too. Yeah,
it
could be that too. I mean, in China, obviously, and in India for sure, the rising middle class is one that is very important demographic, and we're very aware of that. And as we watch and see how their buying behaviors shape out, if they continue to want to buy gold, there's more people that will have money to do so.
Are you in China, your company?
We are in China over the internet, but not yet. We are looking very seriously at having a position in Asia very shortly.